And the first line is not going to be the end of it, Steph. Look at what develops behind that derecho. More tornadoes potentially, and they're going to be moving fast to the south and east.
Very fast. And this whole system has very strong and fast winds with it. Today, our setup has mid-upper level winds like that, the low-level winds crossing like that, giving us directional shear, which is going to give us that spin in the atmosphere. As this whole thing swings east, our shear is going to be like this in the upper levels, and all the wind, I should say, at all the different levels of the atmosphere are basically going from west to east. So that's going to give us a big wind threat here, not only with the thunderstorms, but also just in general. So I wouldn't be surprised if we didn't see some wind advisories with this coming in. These thunderstorms, they're not going to be as numerous as we're dealing with today, but if you get stuck under a cell like that or these cells in New England, those could certainly pack a punch as we head into tomorrow. Also down West Virginia, Kentucky, into Virginia, we will see some stronger storms. That's that front that's still pulling through as we head into our Thursday and even into
65 miles per hour.
They could.
So we got to watch that.
Well, not to be messy, but Argentina came out on top for Kansas City's first ever World Cup match yesterday, and not a moment too soon. We are joined live by meteorologist Jen Carfagno as a wave of severe thunderstorms graze the region. But between matches, Jen, things have been very fun and exciting. Been following you on social media. I want to talk about the wet bulb temperature. You brought it up in your hit a little bit earlier. It is the lowest temperature to which an object can cool down through evaporation of water alone. Effectively, the environment can cool the body by sweating. And in order to do the wet bulb temperature, I was joking with Jim earlier. I said, do you think Jen brought a sling psychrometer with her?
I bought a wet bulb globe temperature thermometer, which has that black Kansas City.
All right, Jen. Well, I'm looking forward to the sling psychrometer action. It's old. I want an old school one, Jen, that we did when we were in school where you swing around like that. We'll have to get one of those. Jen, thanks for that. We'll check back with you a little bit later with the latest technology. In today's Weather-Wise, we've partnered with Native to share some easy tips for keeping your skin feeling fresh and balanced. When humidity levels rise, your skin can start to feel itchy and uncomfortable. Staying hydrated, choosing a refreshing cleanser, and even adjusting your shower routine can help keep your skin fabulous this season. So let's take a look at this week's skin health report. And notice things are humid. Why? Well, of course, we have our big trough here. We have our front. We got a lot of moisture coming up due to this. And also we have that area of low pressure helping bring up some more moisture. So we've got a lot of it today here in the east. New Orleans, oof. It is rough, but it is rough in New Orleans a lot with the humidity there. No difference here over the next 24 hours. Chicago, we go up and then we come back down. As we see our boundary also go through Chicago, that'll make a difference too. Notice tomorrow with that front coming through, Chicago is drier, but we still have that moisture here all the way up into the northeast. So get ready to feel some of that humidity.
In the details.
Travel could be a bit challenging today with strong storms moving through the Midwest. This is just the beginning. This is not even what this is pointing to, okay? These tornadoes are going to fire up later today. We have quite the bowing here and severe weather. We've had winds 70, 80 plus miles an hour with this. Right now, it has made its way through Iowa City, going through Washington right now. Loudon, we are about to get nailed by this line. You can see it goes all the way down, and that is very strong winds. And by the way, we are going to see a lot more widespread strong winds that are going to give us our tornado outbreak later today, or severe weather outbreak, I should say, perhaps later today, and some very strong tornadoes. Davenport, this is heading in your direction. There are your winds, 60, 70 mile an hour winds. And as we widen out, we do have a severe thunderstorm watch. Peoria, this is coming towards you as well, so be prepared for some rain. Chicago will get rain. It doesn't look like we'll get the big winds with this, but Chicago could still get some of those stronger thunderstorms as we head through the day. Then traveling along the I-10 corridor, it's going to be a soggy one thanks to potential tropical cyclone 1. Will this become Arthur? We'll know within the next 12 hours or so. But it is bringing flash flooding to Texas. We've seen it here in Brazoria County all morning. And we also have it now just to the east of the city of Houston, where we've had very heavy rain that has come down for us. We're now up to 9.9 inches in the past 6 hours here in Brazoria County. Just tremendous rainfall. So watch for more thunderstorms along that I-10 corridor. Also I-20. It is very likely that we will see flooding through tomorrow morning, Louisiana on into Mississippi and Alabama. And it only takes 6 inches of swiftly moving water to knock you off your feet. 2 feet of swiftly moving water to float and move a car. So we could certainly see this, Jim, in several areas. So just take it easy.
Yeah, we've already had it in Brazoria. Okay.
All this rain could actually help with some of the drought conditions we've been dealing with in the south. Notice New Orleans, Little Rock, Atlanta, we are well below average, especially Tallahassee. We just have not been able to dig out of the drought conditions. What I will say, though, here is that's at Bush Intercontinental on the north side of town. And if you go 27 miles about south to Hobby, we're down about a half inch of rain. So Hobby might make up that deficit. We'll just add to that surplus on the north side of town. But it's pretty wild that within 27 miles, which is why we love meteorology and why you guys sometimes get frustrated with us, that within 27 miles, which like your friend could live here and you could live here, you could be like, we have no rain. And your friend's like, it's pouring rain. And when we tell you there's going to be a 50 or 80% chance of rain, you're like, well, I didn't get any. It's like, yeah, it all literally went just to your north. So keep that in mind. It's pretty wild. We still need the rain into eastern Texas, northern Louisiana, Arkansas, towards Tennessee, the Carolinas, and down into Georgia, and also into Tallahassee. The heaviest rain is going to go over some of these areas that don't have drought conditions. So, I mean, we'll take the rain in some places that still have 3-4 inches down, but we really need it in some of the other areas. Texas to Georgia, that's where we're going to see these downpours. And if you are in a flash flood watch, that just means like, okay, I'm going to keep in mind. If you have a warning, you need to take action. That means that flash flooding is imminent or it's occurring. A watch area is going to be a lot bigger, and then a warning is going to be a lot smaller. For instance, these are warnings into Texas. If you had a watch, it would be much bigger. But Jim, look at this. This system's trying. I will give this system, it is trying. Look at that rain trying to get around it here.
It is trying.
It is trying.
It's dry on the west side. We're going to have the shear with us the whole time. But, Steph, do we see on those buoys enough to get us a TS?
I just don't know.
I don't think one buoy makes a TS. Okay, but it is sustained. We've got at least a period.
Potential tropical cyclone 1 impacting the Gulf states. We have a cone and tropical storm watches and warnings here along the Texas and Louisiana coast. Life-threatening surf and rip current conditions are likely, as is surge-related flooding. And we are expecting to see half a foot of rain in some spots, enhancing our risk for life-threatening flooding across the region. Flood watches are now up from the Gulf Coast all the way to Atlanta. Senior national correspondent Justin Michaels will join us live from Lake Charles, Louisiana, where they are under a flood watch. And as you can see, cloudy skies. Then we go north, where we have a dangerous storm threat for more than 46 million people. Severe weather outbreak is likely in the Midwest. We have a new tornado watch in effect for the potential for strong to intense tornadoes today, plus hurricane force wind gusts and that damaging hail as well. Notice there's 7 on our Torcon. This is America's Morning Headquarters. I'm meteorologist Stephanie Abrams alongside meteorologist Jim Cantori in studio. And we also have meteorologist Jen Carfagno joining us live from Kansas City as they dodge severe storms amid World Cup events. We're talking all things wet bulb globe temperature with Jen a little bit later. But first, what in the world is that? Don't worry, we'll explain.
On the minds of folks here in Lake Charles, Steph.
It is the first one of the season, June 1st to November 30th. Justin, thank you for that. And by the way, Lake Charles could use some of that rain. We're about 4 inches below average on rainfall, but obviously we don't want that all at once. New Orleans, by the way, we are nearly 4.5 inches below average on rainfall. So we still could use some of this. Even though our drought monitor isn't too bad here, we do have deficits, so we could use it. New Orleans coming in as we head into the overnight hours, so you're going to wake up to very wet roads around 6 a.m. Still showers. Baton Rouge. It'll be interesting to see if Justin makes his way to Baton Rouge or not, because we are going to get very heavy rainfall there. That's where we kind of had that bullseye of 5 to 8 inches potentially. And it says through Friday, but really this is just the bulk of it overnight tonight into tomorrow morning for us there. Say that again? Yeah, I know. Jumping up. Yes, it's been there.
Smoke.
So we also still have that rain pouring along I-10 here in and around Mobile, where we're 1.5 inches below average on rainfall. So we could take it. We are going to get more coming through. It really gets through here around that 5, 6 o'clock for us. A few more showers lingering as into our bedtime hours. So we're in that 3 to kind of 5, maybe 6 inches. Someone always overperforms. You get a couple rounds that come through one specific area, and then you get a lot of it. Montgomery, we could be around that half a foot mark as well. We are also seeing a deficit of nearly 2.5 inches of rain for us into Montgomery. This is starting off Thursday early morning. You'll be in the clouds and in that humidity as well. Look at the rain streaming through for several hours. We do finish it off, though, before we head to bed. Then over to the ATL here. We're 5 inches below average on rainfall, Jim. We really need it, but this system is going to blow through very quickly as it gets caught up in the upper level winds. Comes in as we head into our Thursday evening, and it's out of here, thankfully, by that Friday Friday morning commute. So hopefully the roads are looking better on Friday.
Yeah, I think we improve all.
We've been talking a lot about the rainfall, and here's the thing. We actually could use it in a lot of locations like New Orleans, Little Rock, Atlanta, Tallahassee. And the funny thing about Houston is depending if you're on the north or south side of town. On the north side of town, we have a surplus of nearly 6 inches. That's at Bush Intercontinental. On the south side of town at Hobby, we're actually down by about a half an inch. And they're about 27 miles apart. So I just think this makes a great point for anyone out there listening about how hard our job can be as meteorologists, that in a 27-mile distance, I'm sure you have friends that live 27 miles from you, have a favorite restaurant 27 miles from you, that you can have a surplus of nearly 6 inches, and then where you are, you could have a deficit of a half an inch. That's why meteorology is so hard and so great at the same time, because it's just interesting that it can do that. So keep that in mind. We do have drought monitor. Unfortunately, we have a lot of areas that are not in drought, and that's where a lot of the heavy rain is going to fall. Now, New Orleans, we'll see if we can do some damage on that deficit that we've been seeing. We are going to get a widespread 3 to 5 inches of rain and potentially flooding anywhere from Texas all the way up into Georgia. If you have a watch, it's going to be a big green box, and that means that conditions are favorable. So just like pay attention. If you have a warning, it's a smaller green box, and that means it's imminent or it's occurring. And there is our system, our potential tropical cyclone straddling the coast. We are seeing rain being pulled in on the north side of this. This thing is trying to get that rain all the way around it. That's what these systems like in order to strengthen, is to have the convection all the way around the center of circulation. We've been following flooding in Texas this morning on the east side of Houston. Chambers, Harris, Liberty counties, we have seen heavy rainfall. South of that area, Surfside Beach, roads covered, entirely inundated down towards Freeport. Double-digit rainfall total. We'll see more of that as we head through the day and as the energy from the system gets pulled north. Right now it's in a southwesterly flow, but we also have our front coming down. You see that front is kind of right behind the banner. That's also going to pull this north because you have that southerly flow. So that comes in, and that means heavy rain into Louisiana, also Mississippi, into Alabama, moving into Georgia. 5 p.m. on Thursday, you can see that front more clearly coming down. That's going to sweep this whole system east, and then we've got to wait for the front to get through. We already have some rivers, I should say, that are in minor flood stage right now, and even moderate. Jim, that will become a little more widespread with all this rain coming in and everything emptying into those creeks and streams and rivers and bodies of water.
All right, with days of strong